They are knowing how to contact them and
No, not rubbishing access. You need information. We are people who make it our business to so-called inform people. I don't know how much worth that definition is anymore, but it does put bread on our tables. So information is important, and for information, access is important. What has happened increasingly, and with very happy collaboration, unfortunately, on the part of most of us, is that access journalism has become the opposite of what it was meant to be, the instrument. So what happened now is that we have been accessed. We are not accessing information anymore. We have been accessed by the politician, by the bureaucrat, by the, whoever it is that you go to. I'll give you an example. It's sort of something that all of you will understand. And here is where I might get some brickbats from my Jamaat, is that, say 10, 15, 20 journalists are standing in front of Parliament. One session has ended. We're looking for netas coming down, looking for bites, looking for quotes, this, that. And a grand cavalcade comes. Minister साहब की गाड़ी आई, उस पीछे 3-4 गाड़ियाँ आई. दरवाजा खुला, मिनिस्टर साहब अंदर बैठे हैं. One fellow, he will say, "Arey, aajo." One of us will jump into the car and whoosh away with the minister. क्या बात है? Minister के साथ गाड़ी में चला गया, भाव बढ़ गया, भाव कम हो गया, खत्म हो गया वो. He has been accessed. He will never write a story. Please believe me. I have been in situations where I have been talking to Fala for 1 hour, and he has been telling me lovely stories, at the end of which he said, लिखना मत. तो काहे टाइम वेस्ट किया हमारा? यही हो रहा, लिखना मत. तो are you telling me a story? चंदा मामा पढ़ा रहे हो? क्या कर रहे हो? But we have become very happy just to have access and no information. I don't remember, I don't know, people will correct me. I really don't recall the last time a minister or a senior officer, either in the civil services or the police or in the army, gave me a story. They don't give you stories. They take up your time. Some of them will ask you, मेरे पास एक article लिखा हुआ है, छाप दोगे वो? They want to soak up spaces in the media. You will see the edit and op-ed pages of most newspapers now, where you will see, अरे वेंकैया journalist बन गए, रोज लिखे जा रहे हैं पेपर. कितना टाइम मिलता, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है, टाइम मिलता होगा, रोज आर्टिकल लिख रहे हैं. What is it? It is not a simple thing. It is soaking up space, edging people out, edging other opinions out. That newspaper has been accessed. It does not have access to Venkaiah Naidu. It is a one-way access. It does not have access to any of these people, famous people, who write columns in these newspapers. Those columns are not written by them anyhow. The media getting accessed, while the media is deluding itself that I have access, is one of the more tragic and debilitating stories that is happening with the media. Please understand, and which is not getting enough attention. You go to report Kashmir, for instance. You land in Kashmir, in Srinagar, go into Gupkar Road, वहाँ पे आपको सब नेता भी मिल जाएंगे, वहाँ पे जॉइंट डायरेक्टर इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो भी मिल जाएंगे, बड़ा सा बंगला, उनके घर जाइए, हैव टी विद इंटेलिजेंस फेलो, 5-6 फाइल्स, 2-3 अफसर, अरे जरा इससे मिल लेना, उससे मिल लेना। आप गए वहाँ, 3-4 दिन आपने लगा लिए, 3-4 में से 2.5 दिन आपने गुप्तकार में लगाए, 1 दिन आपने पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर में लगा दिया, 1 दिन आप निशात विशात घूमने चले। देखा नहीं निशात, बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छे आजकल वो बने हैं, कॉटेजेस, हट्स बने हैं। ये देखते 5-6 स्टोरीज, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, दिस रेट, दैट रेट, ऑल स्टेटिस्टिक्स अबाउट हाउ मेनी मिलिटेंट्स किल्ड, हाउ मेनी अटैक्स, दिस इज हैपनिंग, दैट इज हैपनिंग, यहाँ से वो आया, वहाँ से वो आया, सब्जी खरीद रहा था मारा गया। ऑल दीज स्टोरीज दैट यू हैव नॉट विटनेस्ड, you get to write with do say get a great amount of pride and authority, but they all come largely from the maybe different people, but the same source, which is the state. You don't even stir in the direction of meeting a Kashmiri. Meeting a Kashmiri, I don't mean a Neta. I mean Umar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti. They are Kashmiris and they are leaders in their own right. Yes. But beyond them, डाउनटाउन, अरे बाबा डर, वहाँ तो डर मार देंगे, वहाँ मत। कोई जर्नलिस्ट जाते नहीं डाउनटाउन लोगों से मिलने के लिए। जामा मस्जिद चले जाइए, नौहट्टा चले जाइए, वहाँ पे इंसान है, दुकान है, लोगों की छोटे छोटे रेस्टोरेंट्स हैं, कपड़ों की दुकान है, फल बेचने वाले, कबाब बेचने वाले, गाड़ी मरम्मत करने वाले, कारपेंटर्स, they're all Kashmiri people who live that life which we report on, but we never talk to them, we don't bother talking to them. वो free access है, and they will not ask anything of you कि मत लिखना, वो कभी नहीं बोलेगा लिखना मत, और खुल के कहानी बताएगा। लेकिन we are not interested, हमको क्या चाहिए? Access, किससे? जहाँ हमारा काम बंद हो जाता है, जहाँ जाके हमारा काम ही बंद हो जाता है। There's one word that gets used for the media very often. Watchdog है हम लोग, watchdog नहीं, हम lapdog हो गए। Complete lapdogs we have become. Completely sucked by this thing. अरे इसकी बहुत एक्सेस है, बहुत पहुंच है यार। भाजपा में बड़े बड़े नेताओं को जानता है, कांग्रेस में इसकी बहुत पहुंच है, 24 अकबर रोड में तो सारे इससे जब खड़े हो जाते हैं लोग, नेता जब ये जाते हैं। What do you do with these great friendships? You have got sucked in and you are stuck in those friendships, and that getting stuck is disallowing you the practice of your chosen craft. You know what happened in the cabinet meeting, everything, but you can't write it. So what's the point? Why are you a journalist? अरे ये तो मुझे पता था, everybody knows, then why didn't you write? I didn't know. A lot of reporters come back and tell me, अरे ये क्या story में, I knew it, everybody knows it, so why did you not write it? Just give me a reason, why did you not write it? Why did you not propose it? There was a news meeting, if you knew, ये तो पहले से पता था, सबको पता है, तो हमें क्यों नहीं पता? हमारे रीडर को क्यों नहीं पता? हमारी लॉयल्टी कहाँ है? हमारी लॉयल्टी नेता के पास है कि रीडर के पास है? नेता ने तो अपना काम कर दिया, नेता हैज done his job by giving you access, the next seat in the car to you, in his cabinet वाली गाड़ी, घर पे खाना, कोई दिक्कत बहुत पूछते जर्नलिस्ट से, कोई दिक्कत? बोले आप ही दिक्कत है, पहले बोलने के आप ही दिक्कत है, बताइए। कोई दिक्कत नहीं, ये छोटा सा काम था, ये छोटा सा काम था। पुरजी, जिस दिन हाथ खुल गया, नेता के सामने, ब्यूरोक्रेट के सामने हाथ खुल गया, गए। मुट्ठी कहते हैं ना, मुट्ठी बंद होनी चाहिए। हम तो खोल के चलते हैं आजकल, शर्म नहीं आती हमको किसी नेता के साथ गाड़ी में बैठ के पार्लियामेंट से चल गए, बड़ा गर्व होता है कि अरे बड़े कैबिनेट के मिनिस्टर के साथ गया हूं मैं। लज्जा होनी चाहिए। और समझ में भी नहीं आता हम कैसे, you know, how easily we have got sucked into this whole thing of access, which gives you no information. which maybe gives you private information. You might know. That's not enough. I'll repeat an infamous phrase here. The nation needs to know. It does need to know. It's not enough that you know. But by getting into a relationship with the person that you are meant to report, you have compromised yourself. It's a compromised position. It's a conspiracy of silence you've entered. And happily, you enter it happily. Because why? Access. मेरा access है. उस access से क्या हो रहा है? Are you not bothered? Are you not bothered that someone has accessed you and made you, has neutralized you? There are so many stories in this country and so many people are ready to tell it. We don't go there. We don't go to the people. We've become some sort of stenographers and we are very happy. इस नेता ने ये कहा, उस नेता ने ये कहा, इन्होंने ये कहा, उन्होंने वो कहा, बाता-बाती हो गई, खत्म. हम कहाँ हैं? हमारा दिमाग कहाँ है? Where is our judgment? Where is our ability to, see things logically, rationalize them, test them against the truth, give some context to them? All of this the media is not doing now. There's that famous thing, someone says it's sunny, someone says it's raining, you look out the window and find out for yourself. It's not good enough to quote, फला फला ने कहा बारिश हो रही है, फला फला कह रहे धूप है. आपका ये ना हम भी तो जज कर ले कि धूप है कि बारिश हो रही है कि दिन है कि रात है, वो काम छोड़ दिया हमने. We are so enamored of access. Really, it's a very sad thing. I'm saying probably not a very popular thing, but journalists have struck themselves in the foot, in every part of their anatomies in such a way that they are stunned. They don't even realize what has happened to them. And they think they remain great journalists. I'm sorry, I just cannot be a subscriber to that kind of access journalism, which does not give me a story. I would much rather access people. I would much rather go and, there are thousands of millions of stories lying everywhere, not being told. Why do we not tell them? They're not important. We just become amplifiers of power. Just power, as if nothing else exists. Power of the ruling party, power of the opposition, power of the bureaucrat, power of the policeman. Yes, you do. You need to keep watch on them. You don't need to go canoodle with them in the way that most media does now. He will stop talking to us. They will cut off your access. You write something against someone, doors are closed. And people start feeling very bad. Oh my God, he does not speak to me, his PA doesn't pick up my phone, and so. How does it hurt you if someone has closed their doors to you? Go to someone else. Go to someone, ये तो तालिबानी है, ये तो आके शूट कर देगा, भाग जाएगा, तो तालिबानी है, हमारा काम है. हंसी भी आती है मुझे कभी-कभी कि I cannot write it because I will lose my source. And so what is the use? What use is that source to you? He talks to you, he gives you things which you cannot write. Is that how you, is that why you value your sources? I think there's a lot of thinking required. A lot of the young people who want to become journalists, my advice is don't go that direction in this day and age. Yeah, I have 5 minutes left. Any questions? Yeah. Tell me. Mic दे दीजिएगा इनको. आपके पास स्टोरी होगी, फिर आपका एडिटर बोलेगा कि नहीं ये तो बेकार स्टोरी है.
Sir, Hi, I'm Supriya.
Hi, hi.
I wondered if you could talk more specifically about how access journalism has been transformed by TV and primetime news, and the breakdown and the transformation from news reportage and bulletins to talk shows on prime time.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little more specifically about that?
I have never been a TV journalist, and I think it's a bit unfair of me to talk from the inside of what happens in studios. I have been inside studios, and I do know that it's a professional necessity for TV, much more than print, to kowtow to these people, because you need faces in the studio, and you need people to give you bites. And how long will you keep an empty chair, as was once the fashion? There's empty chair, nobody from this party or that party. How long will you keep that? So yes, professionally, it becomes a requirement that you have access to such and such person. But that conversation, that access has also been, I would say, abused to a degree where the conversation is just one way. It is a bite, what we call a bite, where there's no questioning, where there's no counter-questioning, there's no reasoning. एक देता आया आप, सर इसके बारे में क्या कहना है? बस हो गया, चल दिए. You know, it is a completely one-way conversation, which has been made now, Dirigya, very fashionable. The media is not required. I'm very, as a media person, I'm very upset that the media is not required in this country. I will have direct dialogue with the people. Yes, please do have direct dialogue with the people, but the media performs a function. And I will tell you here, I have serious reservations about so-called citizen journalism as well, because there is something about a journalist's craft as we know it, contexting things, fact-checking, giving references left, right, and center, you know, between, well, there is a process between pig and sausage. Yes. It goes through a process. And we are trained to you know, conduct that process. You don't consume a pig as a pig. And so, you know, it is our job to take the pig through the process and then become sausage. And a lot of that has been forgotten. TV, seriously, I don't watch TV. News TV particularly, it's nobody is interested in watching the kind of thing it has become. I do understand the necessity of getting, you know, having relations with political parties because you need faces, but I don't understand the necessity to do agenda running, dog whistling, gaslighting for this person or that, or this opinion or that, which is what television does. Subverting, misdirecting, creating a new narrative when there is a more insistent, persistent narrative. You would have seen some of the fuss over a male nude star over the last week. I mean, is that what a priority is? But that's what media is going, you know, hoo-ha all about. I mean, so yeah, I agree with you, and I come from a very unfortunate position, which is why I'm telling young people not to go in the direction that I took, or a lot of you took, or are still there, stuck. हमारी तो उम्र बीत गई, लेकिन आप लोग जर्नलिज्म का हाल ठीक नहीं है इस मुल्क में अभी, और कोई वक्त भी नहीं है. आप कोई सवाल पूछना चाहते थे यहाँ? अरे चैनल वाले आ गए.
Yes, sir. Sir, my question is that, did you find access journalism similar to yellow journalism?
No, they're very, very different things. Yellow, when you have been accessed, maybe you will start practicing yellow journalism of some sort or the other. But they are very different things. Access journalism is very fashionable, unfortunately. And people really don't understand the meaning of access journalism. It is a journalist getting accessed, not the politician or or power. We need to access power in order to tell what power does or is doing. What is happening in my definition of access journalism is that the person who should be seeking access has been accessed. It's the other way around. And so in the process of being accessed, you've been neutralized. So you don't have a story to tell because you're sitting so close to the neta or the official or the bureaucrat. And you find that it is so necessary for you to do that. उनका सानिध्य चाहिए हमको, हरदम साथ साथ बैठे हैं. We are adversaries. Journalism is an adversarial, please understand, we are not news, you can use type, advertisement. Journalism is an adversarial profession. आप मुझे दीवार बना के देखें, मैं उसमें लात मारूंगा पहले, कहाँ से गिरी, कहाँ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने कहाँ पैसे खाए, कौन सी ईंट गिरेगी. बड़ी सुंदर दीवार दिखा रहे हैं. सुंदर दीवार पीआईबी का काम है. इतनी बड़ी संस्था है, प्रेस इंफॉर्मेशन ब्यूरो, हर राज्य में भी है. उनका काम है कि हमने सुंदर दीवार, जर्नलिस्ट का काम है उसमें लात मारो जाके कि गिरेगी कि नहीं गिरेगी. एटलीस्ट टेस्ट हम लोग कर नहीं रहे ना. पीआईबी के साथ जाते हैं, समोसा चाय और कुछ दिक्कत. एनीवन एल्स? हेलो.
Hello, sir. That's a very interesting topic, actually. I want to ask you, let's say you get the power for one day, and it is up to you to stop this access journalism and make journalists who they truly are. What would you do?
I didn't get your question.
Okay. My question is that, yes, there is access journalism, and there's a lot of, the news is flooded with stupid items instead of the real news.
Right.
You get the power for one day
Right.
to stop this, to do something about it. What would you do?
Well, you switch off the mics for politicians for one day. And a lot of people are doing that. I think some of those people are here. Some very good journalism has happened during COVID. Some very good journalism happened during the Kisan agitation. People went, spent days and days and days talking to farmers. Some very good journalism came out of that. None of those people were netas. And I think during the last 2 or 3 years of multiple crises in this country, very good journalism has happened. It's not as if we are not capable or cannot do or there's consumer. You should see the amount, the way those stories were consumed. But what you do instead is there is a huge agitation happening with millions of Kisans, but you don't take your cameras there. You try to invent every day some new agenda in the TV studios, and just the act of averting your cameras from an event like, not an event, a huge, long, protracted movement like the Kisan movement is a sinful act as a media person. Individually, you can do things, but I'm talking institutions, how institutions behave and what institutions have come to expect. There was a time when closeness or the closeness to a political party or a particular thought process or an ideology used to be a bad thing for journalists. You're hiring someone, but you know he or she is close to so-and-so or such and such thing. It used to be a thing of, you had your reservations about it. Now it is the opposite. It's not the company you keep. Which company keeps you? You are known by the company that keeps you. ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का आदमी है कि कांग्रेसी है, इस पे आपको पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं आजकल. उल्टा हो गया सब कुछ. So institutionally, these are processes. First, we need to see it in order to be. First, we need to recognize the malaise in order to begin handling it. I don't know when or how that process will even begin. We are not. I really don't have a solution to it. So individuals can go that far, not institutions. Institutionally, we are getting destroyed, as with television journalism. I'm sorry, television journalists, I'm sorry, but that's what has happened. Yes, sir, I think, last question. Ji.
सर, आपने लालू जी की बायोग्राफी लिखी है और नीतीश कुमार की भी लिखी है और दोनों की एक जॉइंट बायोग्राफी भी लिखी है। तो
वो जॉइंट जो है वो वही दोनों किताबें हैं, उसको अपडेट करके छापा
जी जी जी
अलग से नहीं लिखी है।
जी जी हाँ। तो मैं दरअसल एक जिज्ञासा बस थी, चूँकि ये जो बात चल रही थी नेता और पत्रकार के रिश्ते के बारे में, तो वो बायोग्राफी लिखने में आपने उनको एक्सेस किया, उन्होंने आपको एक्सेस किया, या परस्पर म्यूचुअल एक्सेस का परिणाम है?
देखिए वो तो आपको किसने किसको एक्सेस किया वो बायोग्राफी पढ़ने से पता चलेगा, ठीक है ना। रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि 2015 में जब नीतीश जी कूद के चले गए जहाँ हैं अभी वो, तो हमने उन पर एक I wrote a Sunday story whose headline was I Promiscuous, क्योंकि नीतीश जी की पॉलिटिक्स शुरू हुई थी CPI ML से उनका गठबंधन हुआ था 2000 में, 4 सीट आई थी बिहार असेंबली में। एनीवे फ्रॉम CPI ML टू आज जहाँ हैं वो पूरा ही हैज़ क्रॉस द होल थिंग। मैंने कहा उनकी रीढ़ की हड्डी जो है ना उनकी कुर्सी में गड़ी हुई है, तो उसके बाद एक्सेस बंद हो गया। ही कंप्लीटली बोला मेरे जैसे व्यक्ति के लिए ऐसे ऐसे शब्दों का प्रयोग, मैंने कहा आप तो हैं प्रमुस्कुस तो क्या करें, लेकिन उन्होंने एक्सेस बंद कर दिया। लालू यादव के बारे में कहूँगा, माई बुक वॉज वेरी वेरी क्रिटिकल, इट कंप्लीटली devastated Lalu Yadav's years in Bihar politics. He has never shut access to me. And that shows you, I think, to some degree, the groundedness and the self-confidence of a neta. कि क्या फर्क पड़ता है यार, हमको बोले भी कर दिए ना अंग्रेजी में ब्राह्मण वाला काम, ये भी बोले कर दिए ना ब्राह्मण वाला काम, आइए बैठिए। पुराना ग्राउंडेड नेता जो होता है ना वो खड़बड़ाता नहीं है कि एक आर्टिकल मुझसे छप गया, एक किताब मेरे बारे में छप गई तो मेरी राजनीति खत्म हो गई, मैं इससे बात ही नहीं करूंगा। लेकिन आजकल है नहीं वैसे, वही एक्सेस बंद करने वाले नेता हो गए। तो हमने, नीतीश जी ने हमको एक्सेस बंद कर दिया तो क्या कर लिया, क्या उखाड़ लिया मेरा? मैं तो अभी भी लिख रहा हूं, वो अभी भी मुख्यमंत्री है, ठीक है, कुछ बदला नहीं ना। अब मैं गिड़गिड़ाता गया नहीं, प्लीज मैं माफी चाहता हूँ, ये शब्द वापस ले लेता हूँ, ये प्लीज मिल लीजिए। क्या मिल के करना क्या है, क्या करेंगे वो, मुझे क्या मिलेगा उनसे? यस, फॉर राइटिंग द बुक्स आई politicians. I report Bihar is have to directly I mean for the specific purpose of the book I didn't meet them because election run idhar udhar bitaya hua tha. Then there is research. These are not hagiographies, so you don't need to know from these people, you need to know from people know these people. So how book access to people who knew them. Yes, वक्त खत्म हो गया हमारा। Thank you so much for being here and listening to me.
हेलो, इस सेशन का वक्त खत्म हुआ है ठाकुर साहब। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा प्रेरणा मैम से कि मंच पर आएं और एक मेमेंटो हमारे गेस्ट को, स्पीकर को दें। बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक रहा और पंच लाइन जो मुझे पसंद आई, मुझे क्या मिलेगा, इसके दो अर्थ हैं। एक तो ठाकुर साहब ने जैसे कहा कि मुझे क्या मिलेगा, और दूसरा जो होता है जिनके पास एक्सेस है वो पूछते हैं मुझे क्या मिलेगा। तो दोनों लाइनें एक ही जगह एक ही साथ काम कर सकती हैं।